looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3.
Conference, 4 teams get into the big dance. Yes, going to Dayton is in the big dance. We're not going to have that debate today, whether you feel that way or not. 4 teams are in. One is a 5 seed, 2 10s, and an 11. A little bit of a surprise. One team in the NIT, because I think another team that might have been in it already committed to the CIT. And the Lobos are going to host an NIT game in the pit on Wednesday against the champions of the WAC, the regular season champions. Good morning to you. Merry Monday. Back in the Porque. All 3 together in the same place for the first time in a long time. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. Buenos noches. Happy New Week. Hello, Adrian, on the TV side. Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see people in person. You know what I'm saying? Little Zoom box. How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I mean, always after 4 nights in Vegas, I'm feeling great. You know that.
Takes a couple days.
All right.
This is one of those weekends where I can't stop smiling.
Right.
I love college basketball. I do. And watching the conference tournaments, the championship games, there's so many good basketball. And there's just something about sitting there and watching brackets. And it's just so enjoyable to me to just see the matchups and just start thinking about paths and where teams sit and watching the Mountain West Conference. I just love it. So that's one of the best Sundays.
And convincing yourself about every single team in that field, right?
Yeah.
And how every one of them you go, no, I could see, if Arizona State can get through them, they can get through.
This is my 12 seed. Count on it.
Okay.
I got it.
No, I got it. No, this was a really good weekend. I actually got out to the pit on Saturday afternoon and watched some high school state championship basketball. It culminated in such a great story and a terrific 5A game if you love defense and close games, with Volcano Vista beating Sandia. In looking forward to talking to Sebastian Noel at 5:30. It's 7:30 this morning. The Voice of the People. We're going to wrap up state tournament. He's going to tell you why. He said to me on Saturday, "This is the best tournament I've seen in a long time. Like the best. This was the best state tournament period." And I'm looking forward to hearing why that was. And then at 8 o'clock this morning, Richard Patino is going to be with us, Lobo head basketball coach for the men, as the Lobos get set to play Utah Valley. And he'll tell you what he knows about Utah Valley at this point and where his team is. I know they got together yesterday after the disappointing ending in the conference tournament on Thursday. We'll open it up for you at 505-246-0610. This weekend was a lot. A ton of hoops, JJ. I watched the Players Championship, which, I mean, one of the biggest tournaments on the PGA Tour. Kind of gets lost in the final weekend of NCAA and then big NFL trades and all the quarterback news. But I watched Scotty Scheffler do his thing. You had the World Baseball Classic going on. So there's a ton of stuff. All right, let's just start with the Lobos in the NIT. Are you good with the draw? Do you like Utah Valley? So it came out as the Lobos were a 3. Evidently, they're a 2 now. That's been changed. Is that right?
Well, the initial release was wrong.
Okay.
In the NIT.
All right. Because usually the 2 is at the bottom of the bracket, right? One at the very top, 2 at the bottom. So they would play Colorado if they both win. Utah Valley was the champions of the Western Athletic Conference in the regular season. They are 25-8. Mark Madsen, the former Laker, former Stanford star, is their head coach. and a team that beat Oregon earlier in the year. There's some firepower there. This isn't, I was listening to somebody today say, well, I mean, Utah, what are they? Utah something? What the heck are they? Don't sleep on them. You should beat them, right? Lobos are better than Utah Valley. You should beat them, but they can beat you. They have enough firepower. They are a well-coached team. This is a program that over the last couple of years has gotten better. And I always tell you, just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not any good.
That's the story of the Lobos season. Is once conference play hit.
That's fair.
You can be beat.
Yeah.
And yeah, the NIT, so they seed the top 4 teams in each bracket region. So so it's 1 through 4 on the top, 1 through 4 on the bottom on each side. And so Lobos will have an opportunity. Get by Utah Valley, then you can host either Colorado or Seton Hall in the second round, but it should be a fun one on Wednesday night, especially in the Mark Madsen piece. Some people will remember him dancing on stage in the Lakers championship and start looking at his team and what they do. And for the Lobos, it will be interesting over the next few days to see how people ramp up for this game. Because I think that the end of conference play, going into Las Vegas, there's a lot of frustration and still people not able to be okay with an NIT bid while saying, yeah, you don't want to be in the NIT every year, but how do you make this a positive? Because the one thing I will say that's different about the men's NIT versus the women's NIT going forward, it's a 32-team field. So it's not like they're just taking another 64. So it's still a pretty good field competition. You don't want to be in the NIT, but will people be kind of back on board and hoping that they can go on a run?
We're going to see. I think knowing what I know, or thinking I know what I know, being around here a minute, if they get through Utah Valley, that's my bad. If they get through Utah Valley, because they couldn't get through Utah State the other day. If they get through Utah Valley, they'll be a power conference team on the other side, whether it's Colorado out of the Pac-12 or Seton Hall out of the Big East, right? Then all of a sudden that piques people's interest because, oh, yeah, I know who they are. And if they get through that, then you're going to be looking at, potentially a Rutgers or a Cincinnati on the other side, right, or a Virginia Tech. I think they got a tough draw, to be honest with you. Now, I think they can get through the first game. I'd rather see them play Colorado than Seton Hall. Do you feel that way? I mean, neither one of them are easy.
Yeah. We'll find out. I haven't really dove into Colorado or Seton Hall yet. Now, right. Seton Hall has the Sean Holloway storyline. He went on the run with St. Peter's last year, former Seton Hall player. There, took over first-year head coach.
Back. That's what I think it happens. If they get through Utah Valley and then, there's a Pac-12 team, all of a sudden people now understand what that means, or Seton Hall. That's just my feeling. I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong? I just know a Lobo fan like I think I do over the years.
Team from the WAC.
Yeah, it's a WAC team. It's the Aggies little conference. It's right. I mean, that's how people think. That's not what I think. I'm just telling you, you got an interesting matchup. All right, so the ladies are in. They're going to find out today what they're doing.
That is correct.
And so obviously they're not going to play on Tuesday, and they're not going to play on Wednesday in the pit. Do you assume they would get a home game?
I have no idea what's ahead for the women in this situation. So they got 4 teams from the Mountain West in.
Yeah,
New Mexico,
but we don't know matchups.
Colorado State, San Diego State, and Wyoming.
Yeah.
And we'll find out this afternoon.
Okay. All right. So the Lobos get the Wednesday home game, and then there's an opening, what is it, Sunday for them to play, I think, before the time area. I think the state shear, I think Friday might be open and Sunday open. I'm pretty sure Saturday's not. From what I understand, talking to people over there, for a second round game, if in fact they were able to get through Utah Valley, and then most likely, they'll be on the road next week no matter who they play because the arena's not going to be available for them. So that's where we are with that.
And it could be one where I haven't heard anything, but it's a possibility that it's an early tip time for the women. They try to play 2 on one day.
Play it on Tuesday or on Wednesday?
Yeah.
So they would announce it today and play Wednesday afternoon? I imagine that's a possibility too.
Just want to get a home game.
Yeah, I imagine that's a possibility as well. So we'll find all that out. All right, we're going to go through the brackets. We're going to go through who you like, who you don't like, some snubs, and there's always an argument. It's 67-68. and who didn't get in at 69, 70, 71, and why did they get in. We're going to go there. Richard Pitino is going to be with us at 8 o'clock, Lowell men's basketball coach, to talk about the matchup of the NIT, what he knows about Utah Valley, and how his team is. When they assembled last night or yesterday after the disappointing loss of the quarterfinals in Vegas, there's more basketball. And like when I saw them on Thursday night, sure, it stung, man. Where are they now, and are they looking ahead as opposed to looking backwards? So that'll be at 8 o'clock. 7:30 this morning, we're going to wrap up the state basketball tournament. Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people from ProView Networks, told me on Saturday this has been the best state tournament that he's seen, and looking forward to hearing from him why. 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us on a Monday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
No one in the rest.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud...
All right, so the NIT will be starting, well, they start Tuesday as well. You got Colorado's playing on Tuesday. Liberals will be home on Wednesday for the NIT. We'll find out where the women go. Tuesday, it'll be the first four in Dayton. Nevada is in against Arizona State. A little bit of a surprise to many. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi in Southeast Missouri. Texas Southern, Farley Dickinson. And Chris Jans of Mississippi State are against Pitt. It's not like nobody was giving Mississippi State a chance. Like Pitt's going to do this, and Pitt's everybody's choice coming out of that to go out and make some noise. But they Chris Jans did get them in their first year, which I thought was pretty good, and people liked the matchup in the next round against Iowa State. Let's start with Nevada and Steve Alford. They lost their last three going in. The computers loved Nevada. They loved what Steve Alford's team did early. They were solidly in, and then they lose coming down the stretch. And they lose to it was Wyoming, UNLV, and then San Jose State. And I thought they'd play their way out. I think you did too.
I thought for sure they played their way out. They were the last team in the NCAA tournament. The last team, essentially. If you look at the at-large bids, and for Nevada, you saw the clip of them watching the selection show. Yeah, they were like Steve Alford was jumping around.
Really?
Like they were.
Because he just got his bonus.
Yeah, well, he just got his bonus, but they were not certain that they were going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no, I did not see that.
And so they were excited, and for the Mountain West, that's huge. And to get four teams in, to have Nevada hold off a couple power conference teams at the very end, that's respect for the Mountain West. And this is the beauty of the NCAA tournament. Despite what the majority think, what you did last season means nothing. Yeah, means nothing. Despite what everyone wants to think, the Mountain West could go in there and go 0-4. And everyone is going to laugh at the Mountain West Conference.
Again.
And the Mountain West could, again, next year get four teams back in the NCAA tournament. That's the beauty of it. You're going to say, you didn't deserve it. Doesn't matter what you did last season, because North Carolina would have been in the NCAA tournament then.
Yeah, that's right. Do you like the matchups? Do you like any of the matchups? So San Diego State is a 5, gets Charleston. I know the guys on CBS started screaming right away, there's the upset. Charleston's going to the final, going to the Sweet 16. I'm not sure I agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Utah State's matchup against Missouri is intriguing because those are two teams that love to get up and down the floor. Boise State as what were they? They're a 10, correct?
Yes.
And they're playing.
They're playing Northwestern. So
Northwestern. That's an interesting one.
Utah State and Boise State. Yeah. I like both those matchups because they're playing a similar opponent. As you just said, Utah State, Missouri, take the over. That's an offensive game. It's two top 13 offenses in the KenPom adjusted offensive ratings, and Boise State, Northwestern is two top 15 defenses. So the matchups favor both those teams being competitive because it's exactly the way they play.
All right. The San Diego State Charleston one is a premier defensive team against a premier offensive team, a three-point shooting team in Charleston that people love. Last I checked, that's kind of what Utah State was. The San Diego State shut them down in the championship game the other day. Like, people, I don't know. Other analysts, not the ones that were gushing over Charleston on CBS, and yeah, there might be a little Mountain West bias here, but I like San Diego State's draw.
San Diego State's the Sweet 16.
You like them? To the Sweet 16?
Yes.
It's interesting because Virginia, if they get through Charleston and Virginia holds, those are two elite defensive teams. That's a game, take the under, right? And that's what Tony Bennett's buttered his bread on at Virginia is elite defense. That's a slugfest right there if they get to Virginia.
And it's one where the Aztecs they're a high mid-major, but if you're Virginia, have fun with that. No one's going to pick you to come out of that. No one wants to root for Virginia when you got the Charleston and Furman, and even the Aztecs to a certain extent, kind of smashing that little section of the bracket. And I think it's going to be some really fun games. And to me, the Aztecs are the favorite to go to the Sweet 16.
I think a little bummer that they've got shipped all the way to Orlando when the other two teams, they're going to Sacramento, and everybody's staying out west. Except for obviously Nevada. But I think one got Sacramento, one's going to Denver, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where Boise State's going. It's interesting that they took the best Mountain West team and sent them to Florida, which is, kind of a short drive. Not a short drive. That's going down to Orlando is not a short drive, but drivable from Charleston, same time zone. But whatever, it is what it is. Bottom line is, Brian Dutcher's never won a conference NCAA tournament game at San Diego State, and that's a big deal. They got to get through that. I'll tell you where I was on this. I thought the brackets were interesting. I was surprised of how they got in. I'm on the North Carolina State getting in over Clemson train. I just Clemson not getting in after beating NC State 3 times, after the way that was the only one for me. And if you want to tell me that, I don't know. Who else was Rutgers? Rutgers over Nevada. You could make an argument. I think Rutgers is really good, and Rutgers is in the Lobos bracket or side of the bracket in the NIT.
It was interesting listening to the committee chairman talk about an Oklahoma State, a Clemson, and really point out missed opportunities. It's like you're in these power leagues, you have the opportunity to get more quality wins from these other teams, and you didn't do it. Specifically, talking about Oklahoma State, because a team like Clemson, they got 4 losses in quad 3 and quad 4 games, only 4 wins in quad 1, and that's what bubble teams are. Mm-hmm. And even if you play in a power conference, it's not like the ACC was blowing people's doors off.
Hardly. What do you make of the Pac-12 getting for UCLA and Arizona a 2 seed? They got USC in as a 10, and then Arizona State's going to Dayton. And really, to me, the most intriguing one is now what does UCLA do with the injuries? You lose the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. They had another injury. They lose the conference tournament game right at the buzzer to Arizona. UCLA, as you know, I was picking the Final Four. It's hard for me to pick them all the way through with the injuries.
Especially when you're staring at most likely Gonzaga coming out of them in the Sweet
16 round. Yeah.
Or even a TCU team. There's a lot of fight in there. They're going to be competitive. I think they can win 2 games in an NCAA tournament still, but Final Four team, no.
It's tough, huh? You like Arizona, though? Arizona as a 2 seed. They got to go through Princeton. Then they get the Utah State, Missouri winner. I like Creighton to come through after that. How does everybody have UC Santa Barbara beating Baylor? What don't I know? Everybody. I like UC Santa Barbara. I will always. I'd root for that. But what am I missing? Like that's just such a. Everybody's on it.
Baylor
stumbled down the stretch,
and this is a thing with a lot of teams and why this bracket is so wide open. Good, but not great. And Baylor, they got some good guard play. Front court's a bit of an issue. And I think when you're looking down and going for double-digit seeds, it's, all right, who has some experience? It's UCSB. And can they get going offensively a little bit? Absolutely. And Baylor wasn't as dominant defensively late in the season as you'd expect them to be.
There's a lot of teams that can get going offensively that are double digits. Kent State can score a lot of points, and they can score a lot of points. Charleston can score a lot of points. There's a lot of those.
And you need that in one game. If you're looking at extended run, you're leaning defense. You're looking at the defensive metrics to carry some of these teams on long runs. But pop someone in round one who's got a bucket getter.
Yeah. All right, a lot of great stories in high school hoops over the weekend. Great crowds, certainly over the last couple of days, and intriguing storylines, champions, teams hadn't hoisted a trophy in a while. It was what a wonderful, wonderful week at one of our state's best events, the high school state tournament. We're going to wrap that up with the voice of the people. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks is going to join us. He told me on Saturday, he said this was the best tournament he's seen in a long time. Why? What did we miss? What do we got to know? He's going to tell you what you've got to know. That's coming up next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
And the pregame parties are not stopping, and I'm so excited at 377 Brewery because your men's Lobo basketball team is returning to postseason play for the first time in 9 years. That is a time to celebrate. They will be hosting Utah Valley in the opening round Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That means we're having the pregame party at 377 Brewery, which is conveniently located right around the corner from the pit on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. The pregame party for your Lobos starts at 5 and it ends at 7. We have food specials, drink specials, and prize giveaways. So come get ready, come pregame to cheer on your Lobos for the NIT at 377. Check them out at 377brewery.com. And again, they're located on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson.
This report brought to you. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman.
All week out at the state tournament, the Pit. It's one of the best state tournaments, period, in the country. And I've had plenty of people who have been all over, and I've been to a number of them, tell us that. And it didn't disappoint. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, culminated in Danny Brown and Greg Brown, Sandia versus Volcano Vista in the 5A Boys Championship game. And I haven't heard a lot of people tell me this, and I want to talk to Sebastian about this. But it happened on on the day Albuquerque Academy won their first state championship since 1993. And if I'm not mistaken, their dad was the coach of that Academy team. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks joins us this morning. Good morning, Seabass. How you doing?
Good morning. Great. Man, I'm just kind of coming off that basketball high.
Well, yeah, it was something. Am I not right? Because I don't know that I've heard a lot of people say that. You had the Brown boys going at each other and wearing the purple shirts for Papa. And it was shortly after Academy won the 4A championship, their first since 1993. And I'm certain, and I haven't seen the storyline anywhere, that Papa Brown, their dad, was the coach of those. He won like 11, but that Academy team that won their most recent Blue Trophy at the Albuquerque Academy in '93, and then they won one that same day.
No, yeah, I believe you're 100% right.
Something else. You told me on Saturday it was the best tournament you've seen. I don't know if you said period or in years, but I thought you said it's the best one that you've seen in a long time. What made it so great?
Well, it was just all the close games. I mean, I can remember entire tournaments not calling a game with a buzzer beater or not calling a game that went down to the end. And it seemed like, aside from that Sandia Volcano Vista game, oddly enough, it seems like every one of my games was that way. There were just so many close games. It was so enjoyable.
All right, let's go 5A boys, because there was so much about the brothers going at each other. And the game was 43-31, low scoring. It was a grinder. If you weren't there, you kind of feel like, all right, maybe I didn't miss very much. The storyline might have been better than the game itself, but that's kind of where this thing was headed all year, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it so often during the regular season. And I don't know, maybe I don't want to take anything away from both teams' defenses, but maybe the storyline was just too much. I don't know if that played into the score of the game or how the game played out. But I think I'm going to err on the side of it was just two really, really good defenses. And when you play a team 4 times, that's kind of what happened.
I know to get there, though, for Volcano Vista on the run-up, the prior game had one of those fantastic endings that you were talking about.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, Volcano Vista really had no business being in that game. Oregon Mountain, the team from down south, had them outplayed for, I would say, 95% of that game. And it's just the last minute and a half, Oregon Mountain could either not get it past half court or not inbound the ball at all. That's how Volcano Vista won that game. And the go-ahead possession was a steal on an inbound pass. Anthony Gonzalez comes over for a steal and just shovels it right over to Kenyon Owino underneath for the game-winning layup. But on those last 3, 4, 5, whatever possessions, I think it was quite a few of them, if Oregon Mountain just inbounds the ball one time, cleanly inbounds the ball one time, they're in the championship. And the phenomenal thing is it wasn't even close. It wasn't like, hey, here's, that one got tipped away, this one got tipped to that. No, I mean, Oregon Mountain, they couldn't even come close to inbounding the ball against Volcano Vista's defense.
Sebastian Noel, ProView Networks, is with us as we recap what was a really, really, really exciting state basketball tournament at the Pit this week.
And staying on the boys' side, this was a school that you talked about all year long because they were undefeated 1A boys. Magdalena, they have an exceptional title game against Fort Sumner House. 2 late free throws give Fort Sumner House the victory, ending a ridiculous winning streak for Magdalena in the 1A title game was another phenomenal one.
Huge crowd for that one. Probably the game of the day and the craziest ending. I mean, so, Magdalena comes down and ties the game with just a few seconds left. So Fort Sumner inbounds the ball, trying to race into the front court to get any sort of quality shot off. And here comes a Magdalena kid out of the corner of my eye. And clearly he must think that they're down one because he wraps up the Fort Sumner player and fouls in a tie game. And Fort Sumner goes down, makes the 2 free throws, and it's over. Like, I really, really feel for that kid.
Yeah, that's one, and that was a Magdalena team that hadn't lost in like 2 years, and go in and they get beat on that one. We always talk about legends are made in championship games. I don't know if it's a legend. That might be too much. Kellen Garris of Albuquerque Academy, their leading scorer, gets hurt in the quarterfinal game against I don't remember who they played in the quarterfinal game. Was it Taos? Yeah, Taos. And the picture of his ankle was unbelievable. And I'm assuming you saw it. He said he spent days in the training room. He was in a walking boot in school. He played barely. He just flat out couldn't play in the semifinal game against Valley. They squeaked by the number 1 seed, and he comes out and he looked bouncy. He was Kellen Garris. He hits 3 threes in the first quarter for Albuquerque Academy to start the route of hope. I'm going to stop short of calling him a legend, but it was quite the performance from a guy that there was no fake in that. If you saw the picture of the ankle, you're like, there's no way that dude's playing for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I saw a video of it, actually, and, I mean, his entire ankle and foot, top and bottom, was just black and blue and purple. And,
and swollen and chunky and big. And yeah,
you just thought, no way. There's just no way. And, even when he was out there before the tip, you had your doubts, right? Because they ran him out there in the game against Valley, but he couldn't go, right? So he started, and then first 10 ball, he shut it down. So when he was out there, I was like, man, is this going to be is he out there as a decoy? What's going on? You just wouldn't think that he could play. And then when he starts scoring and he's effective, I knew it was going to be a pretty easy win at that point. I had my doubts if Kellen wasn't playing, because Hope had played well that tournament. But once he was playing and he was more than capable of scoring, Academy had handled Hope easily.
70-39 was the final number there. All right, give your buddy Grady a little love. The Pecos Panthers, he's been pumping them all year. They go home with a blue trophy, 52-39, with a win over ATC.
Yeah, 52-49, 3-point game. So really tight game, man. I was impressed with ATC, but Pecos, they were poised. They executed down the stretch. They made all their free throws. And you know what? We got to Grady's boy's a good-looking ball player, man. He he runs a point. He can shoot a little bit. He's does, a lot of those guys like to shoot threes. He's kind of the, he goes to the basket a little bit. He's perfect little point guard on that team. Guards well. And, congratulations to Pecos. That was actually a very good game to start the day, right? Like, second half starts, and we thought, Pecos is going to pull away here. And they just couldn't. ATC, they're coming back. They're returning their entire team. And Pecos had to win. Great game.
All right, I don't want to forget the girls, and I've heard about the crowds. And I was out at a girls' game with you on Tuesday where there was a good crowd. I was standing in line at the airport in Vegas on Saturday morning with Richard Pitino, actually. He said, I heard there was like 14,000 for that was a Gallup and Kirtland game or whatever it was, the other game. He says it's insane. He was just saying how great it was. I had heard something about the same thing. The crowds for some of those girls' games sound bonkers, Sebastian.
Yeah, I mean, that Friday when you have Santa Fe Indian School playing Tahachi and then Gallup and Kirtland Central, you knew that day the crowds were going to be wild, and they were. I mean, that's another great thing about this tournament, the way it's set up. Gallup and Kirtland Central have been so good for a while, right? And 4A girls is always on a Friday, so they get a really good gate on that Friday night, on the girls' night. And it's I've been there for a 4A girls game where the place has been full, and it was something else. Temperature-wise, it was a little rough.
I heard it was a little steamy. Yeah.
It was a little steamy, yeah, but great atmosphere.
Yeah. All right. Great tournament. Great coverage. Congratulations to you and that ProView Networks crew who produced for the NFHS network. And you guys did every game of the state tournament in 3 locations this week, and all the on-campus sites the week before. And the games looked great. The reception of people who were watching was great. Congratulations to you and that crew over there, to Adrian and to Josh and Jason and Alden and everybody who does such a great job over there, and all your commentators. Congratulations on a great season. I appreciate you spending so much time with us throughout the high school year. We'll reconvene right around football, but thanks for all the hours you spent with us, and more so for the kids and getting those games out there. You guys do a tremendous job, man.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it, and I do want to echo what you're saying, man. I get to work with the best, right? Like I get to come on here every week with you, but it's them, and we work with the best team over there that Steve Davis has assembled, and I consider myself very, very fortunate.
Be well, my friend. We'll see you soon. Appreciate all the time.
All right, guys. Thank you.
He is the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel. Look, I know those guys. We've worked with them. You've done ProView games. I have too. Marie, you have too. Those pros are really, really good, and the product they put on.
You know what's really cool? I went to Buffalo Wild Wings last week, and they had it on half the TVs.
See, I think that's so cool.
Isn't that so cool?
Well, does that just that proves my point and why he comes on? Does that tell you that?
No, I'm just saying, but isn't it cool? Like
I think it's beyond cool.
People were asking for it, and
so
it was
what
cool.
does that tell you about high school basketball and football? What it means popularity wise?
I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, tells a lot.
Yeah, I think it's freaking awesome. All right, Richard Pitino's coming up at 8:00. He'll talk to you about what he knows about Utah Valley. That is the Wolverines, Mark Madsen's team out of the WAC, coming in for the NIT on Wednesday in the pit. It's the opening drive. Thanks for being with us on a Monday morning on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Oh, by the way, we got Snoop tickets. That's right. We'll do that at 8:40 today. Then we got a pair, Amory?
Yes, sir.
All right, every day this week, we got a pair of Snoop tickets.
You should, give them away when you hear this.
We just drop them like they're hot.
Drop it like
right now. Just drop
There's so many songs, too, that we can choose from, but this is a good one for to drop tickets.
Well, we're going to drop them like they're not right now, and then at 8:40, so a little less than an hour from now, we will let you have a shot at a pair of tickets to listen to Snoop. Cool? All right, cool. The opening drive, FJJ, Amory, and Adrian is produced on the ProView Network side. If you'd like to watch it there, you can. If you want to get in on the state tournament, dude, I saw so many people out there. I was there on Tuesday before I went to the airport, and then got home Saturday morning, took a little nap. I probably took a hardcore nap. And then went out. You know what I saw? I ran into Royce Olney the other day. The former Lobo sharpshooter, one of the all-time favorites. The all-time, people love Royce Olney. Truth or Consequences kid, went to Hot Springs High, was part of that Lobo team that was going to NCAA tournaments.
Sounds like a high school TV show.
Hot Springs High? Yeah, fair enough.
Hot Springs High.
Well, he was kind of a storybook dude. No, I mean, like the New Mexico kid who was a sharpshooter and a terrific guy off the bench for really good teams. But he's got family playing on Magdalena, so he was out for that game. And actually, I didn't even notice him. He came up, Jeff, Royce Olney. And I'm like, whoa. We rapped for a while. He'd be a good guy to get on at some point, too. But he's like running hunting and fishing. He's a guide up in northern Colorado and loving life. But I ran into all kinds of people out there. It was good. All right, so we're waiting on the women, and if you want to get on the brackets, you can. We got to hit the NFL. So, JJ, did the Panthers overpay for the number one pick? They move up from 9 to 1. They give up their first 2 seconds. I think a really good receiver. I'm not ready to tell you a great receiver in DJ Moore. I think the Bears got quite a haul. I thought the Bears did pretty well, and we'll find out if the Panthers overpaid. I'm going to give you this perspective. Okay? They kind of mortgage their draft picks, and they're going to go get their guy, and they're going to have a quarterback. And so everybody's going to feel good about a quarterback until they don't. But they've been better off going after Derek Carr, keeping all that, and building a team around Derek Carr.
Feels like that's not the direction the franchise wanted to go.
Well, obviously.
They've kind of been in that veteran trying to get something out of nothing market for a little while. And much like we're going to see with the Indianapolis Colts, because they have the 4th overall pick or the 2nd overall pick. Now, the team that's in oblique mode right now is the Houston Texans.
It's sitting at 3?
Coming out of this at 4.
At 4.
When we were talking at, no doubt, Houston, Indianapolis, they're going to come out with C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and combo of that. Well, not so fast, my friend.
Right.
If you're the Houston Texans. But for the Carolina Panthers, yes, you're going to have to overpay to get the number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL draft. And especially when it comes to selecting a quarterback, those prices are pushed up. And you're going from 9 to 1, you're going to have to give a little bit more. And if I'm Carolina, I'm okay with it. Like, take your shot. Take your chance at grabbing one of these guys. If you hit, you can survive not having a first-round pick next year. Still build a roster around a young quarterback. And for the Bears, I actually like this deal a lot. They get a wide receiver that can come in and be their number 1 wide receiver. They got Chase Claypool.
I love it.
At the trade deadline last year. So all of a sudden, Justin Fields, as DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet came on late in the last season. They get good draft capital, still picking at 9, where there's going to be good players on both sides of the football available. A first-round pick next year that you look at Carolina, they're all in on a rookie quarterback. Could still be a top 10 pick for them next year. This is a solid move for the Chicago Bears, the assets they got back.
All right, so did the Bears get just the number 9 pick, or they get two number 1s?
They got a number 1 next year.
So they got a 1 this year and a 2 this year, a 1 next year and a 2 next year, and DJ Moore. I love
2025 second rounder. But.
Okay, I love it for them. Love it for them. They got their quarterback. They're still going to get the number 9 pick in the draft. Now, there's a big gap. I think they got 4 picks in the top 60. There's a big gap between like their second and their second and third. Okay, all of a sudden now, Chase Claypool, to me, is one of the most overrated guys. I think he's had a few good games. I just don't see he's not a number 1 to me. DJ Moore is a number 1 receiver potentially to me. Now, is he a DeAndre Hopkins number 1? He is not. Is he a AJ Brown number 1? No. To me, he's a guy that can carry the load. Am I overvaluing DJ Moore?
No.
Okay.
There's levels.
Right.
Just like we talk about any position.
Okay, so I think
solid number 1 receiver.
Right. Now, if you can tell me Claypool's your number 2, I would still make it a priority, by the way, in that draft, in the second or third round with those 4 picks in the top 60 to find another receiver. And so now you have completely armed Justin Fields to go out and get stuff. I think the silent part in this, the value of the Bears, is DJ Moore. I think he's terrific. And I thought he was young. And I thought he was so underutilized simply because he had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold and what's the initial guy that they have there? That's the third guy. Who's the other quarterback that Carolina threw out? Help me.
PJ Walker.
Thank you. The initial guy, PJ. Yeah, I couldn't for whatever. And I'm not telling you he's not great or he's not good. He's just he was another stopgap guy that they were throwing out trying to find something that sticks. Now, is Justin Fields all that? We're going to find out now. I'll tell you what, we're going to find out now. Bears fans, you love him. They're going to put weapons around him. You got DJ Moore. You got Claypool. You got – did they re-sign Mooney? Darnell Mooney's still there, right? All right, dude, that's 3 decent – good to decent receivers. Like, that's 3 above average. And I'm not big on Claypool. I would tell you Claypool's your third. But you're going to tell me DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and he's got weapons now, man. Cole Kmet's been developing into a good tight end. It's time for the Bears, isn't it? I know you don't want to hear it in your division, but it's time for the Bears.
On that 9,
and
it's an opportunity to go offensive line as well.
Yeah.
You could have a good offensive lineman in the top 10. And I'm so done. I understand the salary cap structure and quarterback hits, but I'm so done with everyone just in love with giving up on young quarterbacks just to get 2 more years on a rookie deal. Like, there's still so much conversation. The Bears, they should have traded Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the player that you need to trade so you can reset the rookie quarterback clock. When are we ever going to let quarterbacks develop? We're so caught up on Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow that no one else can play quarterback in this league.
That's a real issue. I think the way to do it is if you're convinced of the guy coming out, it's going to be better than the guy you got. You know, if Andrew Luck was coming out now and you want to do it, I'd have done it. But for one of these four guys, for that matter, the question marks. All right, Snoop tickets at 8:40. Coming up next, Richard Pitino, Liberal men's basketball coach. What does he know about Utah Valley? How excited is his team? Where are they now, mindset-wise, headed into the NIT, which starts Wednesday in the Pit, postseason basketball in the Burke. Richard Pitino is next on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Into it, the finality of getting beat, the exuberance of moving on. March is just different, and we are in it. Good morning to you, boys and girls. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, J.J. Buck. It all starts with the first four in Dayton on Tuesday. The NIT starts on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then your Thursday and Friday you sit around and just watch hoops all day. And you're going to go out to the pit on Wednesday because the Lobos are in the NIT, back in the postseason for the first time in a long time, and getting back, breaking an almost decade-long drought of getting into the postseason. Lobos earned a number 2 seed in the NIT. They earn a home game. They will play Utah Valley, the Wolverines, the regular season champions out of the Western Athletic Conference. It'll be in the pit on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I'll give you all the ticket information. But what do they know about the Wolverines, and how is this team, and are they excited about it? The head basketball coach at the University of New Mexico is Richard Pitino. He joins us this morning. Good morning, Richard. I know you're excited about the postseason.
Yeah, very much so. We gave them the weekend off, and we got back to work yesterday around lunchtime, obviously without knowing who we were playing and what we were doing, but it was great to see. There was a pep in our guys' step. I think they were very, very excited about playing in the NIT. I think it's so very important to just understand where we were when we got the job to where we're at now, and the growth has just been amazing. So this year is going to be able to allow us to really take a step forward, because although we all know what we inherited, it sometimes can take longer, and that could be really, really challenging. And I think for this year, getting the fans back, being able to play in postseason for the first time since 2014 is just amazing.
Well, I think your perspective has got to help them a bit. You won the NIT at Minnesota, and you know what that did to help launch the success of your program there. They showed yesterday in the NIT selection show teams who have had success in the NIT and where they are now and all making runs in the NCAA tournament are all in. And so that's got to give them a little bit of credibility. And sure, the pain of losing on Thursday night, it hurt there, but a couple of days later, it's nice to hear that they're excited and ready to go. But I got to believe your perspective has got to help them.
Yeah, I just told them, I said, listen, I played in the NIT in year one, and it's changed a little bit because now more so than ever, because they're giving automatic bids to teams that win their regular season conference, similar to Utah Valley. They're giving them automatic bids to the NIT. It was a little bit political a couple of years ago, who gets good crowds, this and that, or who they put in. Now it is strictly metric-based, and anybody that makes the NIT is really, really close to making the NCAA tournament. That's the bottom line. If you really look at it, we were realistically probably 2 wins away from making the NCAA tournament this year. And that's with 2 buzzer beaters, Jalen House out 2 crucial games. So we're very, very close. And I told the guys, listen, maybe the first game is a little bit hard with the NIT because the NCAA tournament captivates our country right now. But I tell you, once you get into it, especially if you can get some home games, it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Richard, what do you want to see from players in postseason play? Like, what is the difference from taking the court in the Mountain West tournament versus what it's going to be like in an NIT game with what's on the line?
Well, certainly we all assumed in the Mountain West, okay, yeah, we're playing for a championship, but we all knew, okay, realistically, we're going to be playing in the NIT. So our season's not done. Well, now the finality of you are done if you don't win in the NIT. So that journey is over. Morris Udeze is never going to play with these guys again. There's obviously the fluidity of every roster that everybody deals with after the season, but reality is we could have 4 starters back and a lot of key pieces back from a team that, who knows, wins 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever wins. So there's a lot to be excited about, but if you lose, you're done. And, our guys have been a lot of fun to coach. They play with a great spirit and energy, so you make fun.
You guys, you all know who you are. You know your strengths. So what is the focus of the next couple of days? Like, what position do you guys need to be in to be at your best against Utah Valley?
Well, I think if you take a step back and look at just the season in a whole, our offense was a top 20 offense by Ken Palm, which is great. Obviously, we had some amazing wins, did some, just to jump to 22 wins is great. But if we want to make the next step as a program, our defense cannot be sitting around 100 defensively. Now, we have to look at all the metrics and say we've jumped 250 spots in 2 years. So it's not as though we haven't made progress. But this roster and the guys on it, as well as the coaches and the coaching staff, we got to do better defensively. And we're never going to win in this league, a league that now is back-to-back years of 4 teams in a row going to the NCAA tournament, 1 team going to the NIT. So it's basically half your leagues going to the postseason. It's challenging. So defensively is where we got to get much, much better because our offense improved, but our defense kind of flatlined a little bit.
Global basketball coach Richard Pitino is with us on the opening drive. Utah Valley's in the pit to open up the NIT on Wednesday. What do you know about the Wolverines, Mark Madsen's team, regular season champions of the WAC?
Defensive-minded, block shots, one of the best in the country, rebound the ball very, very well. They got that automatic, bid like I talked about where they won their regular season in the WAC. So a terrific team, well coached, will not be even a little bit, although it's not maybe your Power 5 name. This is going to be a huge challenge, and we better be ready to go because they're going to be tough and physical and try to grind you out.
When you play a team that doesn't have the name, like how good they are, people who watch basketball realize they beat Oregon, that they've got some talent, but maybe when certainly fans are going to need to be educated. I don't know about the players. When the name on the front isn't as well known, is it more of a coaching job to get your guys to take this as seriously as you need them to be in an elimination game like this?
Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit, but we have so much film that I think by the time they see it and they get educated on it, certainly they'll understand it. Where I think your fans are the ones that maybe don't quite realize it as much. Now, there's so much information on everybody's phones, and the true fans, and we've got one of the best fan bases in college basketball, they certainly will understand as we get into the game. So, I think for our guys, they've always understood where our program is at and where it was when we got here. And so hopefully nobody has an ego about that. We're in the postseason for the first time since 2014. We're really, really excited about it, but we also know everybody in this tournament was close to making the NCAA tournament, which means they're a really, really good team. So our guys will be ready to go. They'll understand how good Utah Valley is.
You mentioned 4 Mountain West teams got in. I just saw on their Twitter Nevada's reaction, which was, they knew they were right there on the cusp. They were the last team in, how much it meant to them, but how much it means to the league. What do you think of this seeding? San Diego State getting a 5 and getting sent back east, and then 10 seed for both Boise State and Utah State, and a first 4 game for Nevada. What do you think of the respect your league got and then the pairings?
Well, I think it was great. I haven't looked at any of the pairings or anything, honestly. I think the biggest thing is if you look at our league, San Diego State, I think, was clearly the best for the whole season. I think Utah State was the second best team. And then I think if you look at Boise, Nevada, and us, I think those are the next 3, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, to get those 4 in, if the ball bounces a little bit differently our way, maybe we're in and one of those teams is out. But, that's the way sports is. But the best part about this is the consistency that we're starting to show in this conference is huge, especially with conference realignment. And we all understand football is so big in every athletic department, but this is a great basketball conference. We're not, and it's unique because are we a Power 5? No, we're not a Power 5. We're not a mid-major. We're not. I mean, when you're getting half the teams that are playing in the postseason, you're getting great crowds, great teams, coached well, players that are moving on to the NBA. So it's so good to, when you're dealing with conference alignment, to have that brand be really, really strengthened like it is in the Mountain West is huge for everybody.
Want to ask you about, you talked to your dad last night? The Iona Gales get in. They get an interesting matchup against UConn. And, I'm not going to ask you about the rumors about your dad, but just the matchup and his team and him going back, it's pretty exciting. And I know that, in that part of the world, UConn's a big deal, and it's a nice opportunity for Iona.
Yeah, I didn't speak to him, so we have like a group family chat, where everybody talks, but I didn't specifically talk to him about UConn. I've got a good friend who works at UConn. UConn's kind of an iconic brand out there in the Northeast. Iona had a really good finish to the season. They were playing very, very well, and obviously were able to win the conference tournament. So it'll be great. I think they play Friday night, or I guess afternoon, which would be about 2:30 our time. So it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool to see your father, who has dealt with a lot of adversity. Whoever wants their opinion on it, whatever, they have at it. But the bottom line is he's one of the best coaches to ever coach college basketball. And it's really cool to see he's 70 and I'm 40, but his kind of zest for coaching still is awesome, and it certainly motivates me every day.
It's insane that at 70 years old, and he is the hottest name in the coaching carousel right now going around, and it's a testament to what he's done. And to your point, there's been some controversy around him, but obviously what he's done is inarguable, and there's a whole lot of schools that are vying for what he does, and it's got to be kind of cool just to kind of take this ride with him.
Well, I'm not really taking it with him. I'm all the way across the country, so you're taking it with him. He can take his own ride, and I'm going to take my own ride. I think people kind of forget that. I mean, I get so ingrained in my own family, whether, here in Albuquerque in the community. But for him, it is great, to see whether he wants to stay at Iona, which is a really good low-major basketball job, but one with really, really good tradition. Or does he want to make a jump at something that makes sense? I don't know what he's going to do, but what I do know is just getting to know kind of some of those Iona kids. Are really good people, and he's in a great situation there in New York. So, like any son, you just want him to be happy.
Yep.
And so if that is staying at Iona or jumping somewhere else, that's really what I want for him.
Go enjoy your ride. It starts in the postseason on Wednesday in the Pit, 8 o'clock, against a champion out of the WAC in Utah Valley. Always appreciate the conversation. We'll see you during the week.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Richard Pitino, men's basketball coach. Oh, he's on the ride. I mean, if you're on the group text, you're on the ride, right? You're in the family, you're on the ride. Want to hear what you have to say. We'll respond to that. There was a lot there. What does he know about Utah Valley? I thought the fact that his team came in with a little pep in their step is a big deal, too. We're going to get into that, and I will let you know how to get tickets. Go see the Lobos in Utah Valley in the NIT. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and render number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years.
And you'll learn a little bit about Utah Valley and what they are and who they are as we go. Great run for us last week at the conference tournament. I want to say thanks again to Coleman Vision. Perfect vision, perfect game. California Closets, custom closet systems and solutions for the whole home. New Mexico Look, the best New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel. And Rich Ford celebrating 62 years at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. Those are the partners who made sure that we were on the road with the Lobos. We were there to bring the conference tournament to you. I hope you enjoyed the coverage while we're there. I thought we had some good post-game conversations that, certainly we wouldn't have had if we weren't there. I thought Josiah Alec and Jalen House were really good after the games. And I hope you all enjoyed the coverage that we had from them. All right, tickets for and then we're going to the phones at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Ticket info. So here's your deal. Season ticket holders, everything in the NIT is repurchased and single game. right? Go to golobos.com/tickets. So Lobos season ticket holders, if you're a season ticket holder, you can have the seats you sit in all the time. You can have your regular seats. They'll be held until 10 a.m. on game day. That's Wednesday. After 10 a.m. on game day, your seats will get released. They go on sale to the public, right? So you got to log in to purchase your tickets, or your seats go to the public. There's no, well, I thought I had, no. You got to go online and get your seats. All right, tickets for the NIT, $15 bench seats, $25 for chair backs. And if you want to sit in the Lobo level and club level, and maybe you intercepted before, here's your opportunity to $35. Students get in free, sit in the UNM section, okay? In the student section. So there's your ticket info for that. All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Mike, you want to get in on Patino? Hello, Mike. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. What's happening?
Hey, what's your take on North Carolina turning down the NIT?
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like that team's in shambles and stuff. What are the chances that we can get one of them big guys from there? They say they got one of the best in the country.
I don't know what their portal's going to be like. It's really kind of weird to say teams in shambles after won the championship game a year ago. But this has been a really disappointing year for them. What do I think about them saying no to the NIT? JJ, I think it's a little entitled. I'm surprised. I don't think it's good for anybody. But if they got a bunch of guys in there that flat out don't want to play, then they're not doing anybody any favors by just going out and going through the motions. So I don't know what's going on, Mike, internally. I think it's a bad look for them. It's a little bit of an entitled look to me that they're above the NIT. And with all due respect, you're not, because that's where you sit right now. But it's got to be hard to go from being in the NCAA tournament final game a year ago to the NIT. But I think it's a bad look.
You know, there's some good teams in the NIT. I saw Colorado play UCLA, and they gave them a heck of a game.
Because there's a bunch of good teams in the NIT. That Rutgers team is really, really good. Oklahoma State is really good. Clemson is really good. No, there's plenty of good teams in the NIT.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, man. What did you think of North Carolina? For those of you who don't know, North Carolina opted out. They would have been a top seed, and they declined.
Entitlement was a good word to use for it. That we were just in the national championship game last year. We're too good to play in the NIT this year. It's almost has like a bowl season feeling where like a bunch of dudes opt out and not play on your roster. Now they have a lot of upperclassmen, so it's call a reference. You get one of those big guys. Well, if you're starting forward, going in the NBA draft, try to. They're out of eligibility and they've got hands. But it's one that North Carolina fans will say, yeah, that's what it should be. We're not an NIT team. Okay, then you're not playing any basketball now. Feel better?
Get back and watch. Does that feel better? I look at the NIT bracket, and there's a lot of tradition in the NIT. I mean, Michigan State. I'm sorry, Michigan. Michigan's in the NIT. That's Juwan Howard's team. They're loaded. Wisconsin's really good. Florida's got athletes. Oregon was hurt all year.
They'll have their flaws.
That's right. No, that's right. But Oregon is a team that was hurt all year and then got healthy and just didn't have enough to get back above the bubble. But they're a number one seed. Oklahoma State has a ton of tradition. Rutgers is really nice. Colorado's nice. Clemson's terrific. No, there's good teams here. Look, I'm not telling you it's the NCAA tournament. Nobody is. Nobody's telling you that. But to say that this is weak sauce or it's like kissing your sister. No, not really. This is what is it? 18.7% of the teams get to the NCAA tournament, right? It's 68 teams out of 351, I think is the number. Okay, not like the bowl system, and I understand. Look, I work in the bowl system, and I'm proud to do it, but I understand it's different. That's what the NIT does is give teams an opportunity to play in a postseason. These are still really good teams. What's 68 and 32? What is that? 68, 78, 88, 98. It's about 100, right?
Yep. I can't do math right now.
I think it's 100.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly 100.
It's 100, yep.
Yeah. You've got 100 out of 351 teams are in the postseason. Then there's the CIT and the CBI and all that. I don't follow. Richard talking about his dad. Rich was just with us. Again, if you want to rehear that, or it's already up, right? I think it's already been posted. I find it fascinating. And while Richard said he's on his own ride, no, you're kind of on the ride with him. I mean, he's your dad. You're on the text. I mean, you're not sitting next to him shotgun, but you're on the ride. Isn't it amazing that a 70-year-old man is the hottest name in the coaching carousel right now? There's no hotter name than Rick Pitino at 70 years old.
Makes sense for the jobs that he's being rumored about. St. John's at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm. Georgetown. Yeah. Georgetown says they got their guy.
Well, they're hungry for now. Like, it's not, oh, let's bring a young guy, try to develop. It's not bringing a dude that could come in and win year one. And they feel that would be Rick Pitino.
The St. John's one is the one, and Richard just said, for something that he said makes sense. He's a New York guy. He's in New York. St. John's is in Jamaica, Queens. There's a winning tradition there. They play some games in Madison Square Garden. If you go back, go look at some of the Big East documentaries with the 30 for 30 on the Big East. What St. John's versus Georgetown was, Luke Carnesecca versus John Thompson, the legendary games, matchups, that era. If he, at the end of his career, and you got to believe right at 70, and I'm not telling you when the sunset needs to be, but I believe at 70, that would be his last big move, right? If he rekindles St. John's, I used to love St. John's. Chris Mullen was there, Walter Berry. They had some unbelievable teams. I just love the whole Luke Carnesecca story. And I lived in Flushing, New York, which was right there. I love the whole St. John's story. If he rekindles that, not that he isn't already a legend, and like Richard said, he's one of the best college basketball coaches ever. I mean, I don't know how you raise legendary status, right? But that's how you raise legendary status. If he does it one more place, Richard used the term makes sense. Boy, that feels like, and I don't know him, but that one feels like it makes sense.
And he's looking. There was a CBS story
I read
a month and a half ago on Rick Pitino and the stuff he's done at Iona, how he's gotten some investment, some improvements there, but actually has zero buyout. I think it's crazy that Iona would be okay with that. But because Rick knew, like, hey, I'll take one more shot. If one of these big names comes to call, and I'll be going.
Feels right. It feels like that. Are we going to give away the Snoop tickets coming up at 8:40? So coming up here in a little bit, we'll go to the phones at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. When we come back, there's some really insanely intriguing matchups in the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament, including the first four. I want to get into a little bit of Nevada's matchup. Steve Alford, and if you haven't seen his reaction, by the way, him and Noodles hugging it out in that room, is there a way can we retweet that or repost that or something so our people can see that?
The people want to see that, Jeff?
I think they do. I think some do. Some do not. But
you might ruin their breakfast.
All right, watch it after breakfast. But I want to give you an idea of what that matchup Nevada and Arizona State means, because there's a little bit of extra sauce to it. Hey, think about your vehicle. You're in it right now. You don't even have to think about it. Look around it. Think about what it went through during the winter, right? You drove through all the mess and the snow and the slush, and now here comes the wind. Take care of it. On the spot, automotive detailing. Give them a call, have them come out and detail your vehicle. They come to you. This is the easiest no-brainer period. They come out to you, so you don't have to have time. You come out to the parking lot. They detail it inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats. When they're done, it looks and it feels and it smells like it's brand new. It's time. It's one of your biggest investments. Protect one of your biggest investments. You're probably going to have it for a while. Also ask them about ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect your paint for years, to protect your paint from the New Mexico sun and all the UV rays that goes into it. And then they'll offer you a lifetime warranty on that as well. Also a 10% discount for our military. On-the-spot automotive detailing. It's a winner every single time. Schedule online at otsdetailing.com or give them a call at 505-859-2859. That's very good, 505-859-2859. This report is brought
too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Wants to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust. and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to.
The text line is 505 246 0610 888-922-0610. You can also call that number, the 377 Brewery hotline. Told you I saw Royce Olney over the weekend. Jeff Royce Olney was an amazing Lobo. So glad to hear you speak of him. Always one of my favorites. Glad you're in. This one says, I'm just going to speak to North Carolina opting out of the NIT. North Carolina has some internal turmoil in their locker room going on between their point guard and their shooting guard, and therefore they just want the season to end. If you're done, you're done. Like, don't fake it. Like if your players are done, this is what you got to do. It's just a bad look. This one says, North Carolina, what crybabies. They can kiss my Tar Heels. Strauss was just in. He's one of those haters on the NIT. Eric Strauss is in for Bob Clark this morning, and I heard him talk this morning. They're playing, Utah, whatever, and he's like, what do they play next? Hope School for the Deaf in this tournament? I'm like, easy, man. Like, he's the total hater. But he's also a guy who didn't know Grand Canyon had a basketball team and thought they were just a for-profit school.
Yeah, and that's Eric Strauss.
Yeah.
Fantastic radio host.
Yeah.
It's also a good reminder of when you're having conversations, sometimes you got to realize that not everyone's going to be on the same level in the conversation. So you got to do some explaining. You got to talk about the NIT field, how it's different now versus the way it was, and the fact that there are some good teams in NIT. Is this where you want to be as a program? No, I get it.
It's not the ultimate goal.
But, go win a couple postseason games, see if you can go on a run, enjoy the moment. And for players, they're frustrated. But Morris Udeze, he gets another opportunity, go out there, play some basketball, wearing a Lobo jersey. He seems to have enjoyed his time at UNM in his one season a lot. And I get, it's one of this is a conversation where it's okay to feel different ways about it, but it's not as much of a joke as some people want to put it.
Don, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey,
What's up,
Jeff,
Don? Good. What's
how you
happening?
doing, man?
Good. What's up?
Hey, that poor kid playing with Scheffler sure fell apart yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, yes. He was within 4 holes, I want to say he dropped 10 strokes, like from 8 to 12. And Scheffler's playing at a level, and it's been for over a year now, which is the best in the world, and he's winning, it feels like every damn week. Like I don't want to say Tiger-esque, but we're getting to that point.
No, he's pretty consistent, man. He's really good. I really wanted to talk about the Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year. And did they get any postseason action?
Yeah.
Are they in the NIT?
So you're talking about San Jose State and Tim Miles and Omari Moore, and from what I understand, they had committed to the CIT, and so that's where they're going. I think they'd have been a bubble NIT team.
CBI.
CBI? I thought it was a CIT. CBI.
I think CIT exists in there.
Okay, CBI.
So the way you said that, were they asked to play in the NIT?
I don't know the answer to that. And so I've got to figure they would be a bubble team in the NIT. And I'm looking, at the NIT list. And I'm like, well, I mean, you figure all of the automatic bids in the NIT because, like Utah Valley, teams who win their league and don't get the automatic berth because they lose in the conference tournament. Yale, Kent State was one of them. I believe Alcorn was. There were a number of those where there were enough spots. I don't know who the last team at large in was, but I think they were on the bubble, and that's where they're going. So.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it, you're running your finger down the standings and you see San Jose State and then the Lobos. But the Lobos did beat them twice, and I guess their net ranking was quite a bit higher.
Lobos are better than Lobos are better than San Jose State, and I understand who finished higher in the rankings. I watched those two teams play twice against each other, and it wasn't arguable. So, all right, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
See you.
Thanks, bud.
San Jose State is the number 2 seed in the
CBI.
CB.
Who's number 1?
Indiana State.
All right. James, good morning to you. You're on the Sports Animal.
Man, we got a lot to cover this morning. My Bruins, I'm good. We lost. I'm okay with that. We're good. We're a number 2 seed. We're in Sacramento.
You're injured.
We have,
You're injured. You're injured. It concerns me.
Yes, I understand that. We're okay though. I feel we're good. I mean, we need a big man in the middle, but I think we're good. We're good. We're playing good. We're a free throw away from tying up that game and going into overtime and stuff. I'm fine.
All right.
Fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to Sacramento, the Bay Area type. Well, we're in the northern. It's highly.
A lot of alums. You got a lot of alums.
It's a lot of alum there, and a lot of alum in that area. So it's good. We're good there. We're staying in California. It's good to stay in your time zone. I remember last time when UCLA went to Sacramento, they were a number 2 seed, and Kansas was the number 1 seed, and we end up beating them there in Sacramento.
Same story now.
Yes, and a little tidbit for you guys. Kansas, during the regular season, has beaten UCLA several times. But in the postseason, Kansas is a 0-4. They've never beat UCLA in the tournament. You can look it up, and
I believe you.
It's there.
All right.
Okay, so we're good with that. I'm good.
All right. Sounds like you're
else?
good. No.
Are we done?
No. Are you? It sounds like you're done.
No. And I was watching. I was watching the selection, and some of the selections Nevada, Arizona State. I mean, really?
You got to fill the field, man. You got to fill the field with 68 teams. Somebody's got to go in.
Yeah. So I had a question about those.
At those last ones, James. And James, I'm going to let you go, but I appreciate you. There's always going to be a question at the end, dude. There's always going to be a question. 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. You're splitting hairs at that point. Look at that video from Nevada. They thought they were out. Speaking of Nevada, all right, so they're playing Arizona State. 2 dudes, Cambridge and Washington, who were big parts. Remember last year in the offseason, wow, what's happened in Nevada? Sherfield went to Texas? No, Texas? Where's Sherfield? Oklahoma, that's what, yeah. And Cambridge and Washington both went to Arizona State. What's going on with Nevada? Well, look who they get to play. Arizona State, and there's 2 former Wolfpack guys on the other side. Who gets the advantage? Is it the guys who want to take it out on their old team, or the guys who were left behind and get where's the psychological advantage? This is an unbelievable match.
Because it opened up opportunities for different guys at Nevada, because Cambridge and Washington left. And no one thought Nevada would be in this position, even be a bubble team this year. And that is a fantastic storyline that the country is going to learn about. Wait a second, those dudes bounced from Nevada, and now they got to go against them.
Yeah, now
the
here
first
they are.
4.
It's something else. All right, I'll give it away Snoop tickets in just a moment. But first, I'm going to tell you about John Thomas Jewelers. You want your bling to go to the Snoop concert? There's no better place to bling out than John Thomas Jewelers. It's the best jewelry store, period. And when you are ready to make that move, and she's not going to be your girlfriend anymore, she's going to be your wife, the way to make that transition complete is a beautiful custom diamond ring from John Thomas Jewelers. You'll go in there, and they'll walk you through the whole custom process. Why custom? Because that will be hers. She's going to be happy with it. She's going to be happy with you. You win. And it's way more affordable than you think, because they do everything right here at their beautiful facility across the street from the Coronado Mall in Louisiana. So you pick out the band, you'll go through all these different options, and then the stone and the size and the shape and the cut, and then you'll walk out of there knowing that you're getting the perfect ring for the perfect woman. She's going to love it. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. If you can dream it, they can make it. They're the only preferred jeweler in Albuquerque. That makes John Thomas Jewelers the only jeweler in town that gives you a free lifetime nationwide warranty. They're my jeweler. They should be yours. There's nothing like John Thomas Jewelers right across the street to the east from Coronado Mall. Visit them on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. It's johnthomasjewelers.com. If you can dream it, they can make it. All right, caller number 7. Let me give you the number. Area code 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Caller 7. You will win the tickets to go see Snoop at Isleta Amphitheater.
We would like to thank
courtesy
the
of your
following
good friends
sponsors
at
for making
95.9
this
FM AM
broadcast
610.
possible.
The Sports Animal Call now.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is sorry.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
All right, so we got winner on these tickets. We can clear the phones at some point. Somebody
Yes.
won? All right.
Congratulations, Tony.
Tony? Like that Tony? Oh, I mean, I don't even know what that means, that Tony. Like, what does that even mean? All right. So if you're holding for tickets, the tickets are going. We'll give more away tomorrow?
Yes, every day this week.
Yes. Okay. We'll give away more tickets tomorrow. This is, yes, get Royce on your morning show. Any NMSU coaching news? It's funny. A lot of people asked me about the NMSU job this week. A lot of people were on that. Did Jason Groves write the story last week? There were like 5 names, 5 candidates, 5 names. I don't know where they're going. I got to believe they're getting close, though, don't you think? On New Mexico State, a lot of people want Casey Owens, who's the interim down there. A Las Cruces guy, steady. It'll be interesting, but I don't have an answer for you on that one. Jeff, good seeing you at the airport in Vegas. Could be a lot of people. My question is, what's the Lobos seating in the NIT tournament? The TV seating show had them at 3. Some NIT brackets have us listed as a 2.
There are 2.
So
there was an error that resulted in the number 2 and number 3 seeds in each region being flipped.
So they are a 2, even though it was listed as a 3. And I wasn't surprised they were a 3, but they are a 2. So that's where that is. That means if the significance is if they play Colorado or whoever they would play in the next round, if they get through the first round, their next game would be at home.
That is correct.
That's the big significance on that. All right, 505-246-0610. Greg, you want to talk about the tournament? Good morning, Greg.
Yes, good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Excellent. What's happening?
Yeah, first-time caller. How about that?
Welcome. Love that. Thank you.
All right. I got a question about this third-tier CBI tournament. I think it's you got to pay $50,000 to get into it. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a fee to it, certainly.
Okay, so here we go. Did that team, Detroit Mercy, with that guy that tried to break Pete Maravich's record, did they offer them a seat in that tournament?
JJ, have you seen the whole thing?
Let me be
All right, so I'll tell you what. We're going to get you an answer here in the next few minutes.
No.
Because I would be very pissed off if they got in.
All right, Greg said
Pete Maravich is the guy.
Greg, JJ just said they're not in.
No.
All right, is there another tournament that they can get in? There's a CBI. There's not a CIT and an elemental Q, PQR tournament. They're not in the state tournament, a high school tournament. Nothing. All right, there you go. He's 6 points shy.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm a Pete Maravich fan. I grew up watching him, so that would have made me very upset if they'd have got in.
Greg,
and he'd have broke that record.
Yeah,
he had a chance to break it. Final game.
Yeah.
He came up 3 points short, right?
3 points short. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
man. No, I appreciate the call.
Thank
Don't
you.
be a stranger. Thanks, Greg. I love first-time callers as well. I didn't even think about that, although I figured they would get in. That thank you. I'm glad they didn't.
Poor kid.
Really poor kid?
Yeah. People are just bashing him for no reason.
Is it bashing him to say that a guy who did it in 3 years with no three-point line record?
No, but they're like acting like he's going out of his way to.
No, but they should invite a 14-19 team to a tournament just so a kid could break a record.
They didn't.
They
There's
didn't.
no tournament to go
Yeah,
to.
that's right. So that's not bashing.
Honestly, after the NIT, that's when we can start talking about
but
what's happening.
It's not bashing the kid. I mean, it would be bashing the system. But it worked out the right way. How about that? It actually worked out the right way. All right, let's go through the brackets. And Aaron Rodgers says it's soon. It's soon. Boy, it sure feels like he's going to the Jets, doesn't it? Latest from the NFL, too. And where's Aaron going? What we know and what you'll know. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
All right, as you fill out your brackets and try to figure that out, what's harder to figure out? Pick on your Final Four, where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up. I mean, I don't know. Aaron said it's going to be soon. Oh, relax. I'll make my decision. I don't know why y'all are paying so much attention to me. There's too much smoke for him to not go to the Jets at this point, is there not?
Feels like Jets or Packers.
They're waiting on Aaron to make the decision, Jeff.
What do the Jets do if Aaron Rodgers says, yeah, I'm going to stay here. I really like the cold.
Do people realize that you could make an offer to Lamar Jackson? Like, that is something you could do right now?
So I was thinking about you on that the other day, because when they put the non-exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson, meaning anybody else could go in and make an offer, and they could have him if it's not matched by the Ravens. And nobody has. And I remember you saying if they put the non-exclusive tag on him, somebody needs to be fired. Whoever does that needs to be fired, right?
I just feel like it's wild to open yourself up to losing a really good NFL quarterback for just 2 first.
What's the window on it? What's is it until this? What's the window that somebody can make an offer? Till forever? I mean, until the season starts?
I don't know the end date.
Okay. That's a little wild. I don't know if the fact that it hadn't happened now makes me think it's not going to, because you think somebody would have jumped in before somebody else does, right?
It's crazy to me. Like, you have a really good quarterback available. I get he's asking for fully guaranteed money. You don't have to offer him that contract, but this one feels like everyone's kind of looking at each other going, yeah, we're going to make sure that Lamar is not guaranteed a full day.
If someone offers him a contract, does he have to take it?
So March 13th or the 15th is a negotiation period, and then March 15th the new season started. So clubs are permitted.
Well, that starts. I'm saying Wednesday. That's this Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. So they're permitted to contract and enter into negotiations or whatever. Free agency starts.
Right. But now, I mean, he's available since he's been tagged and non-exclusive. Somebody else can make an offer. So let's say someone comes in and says, all right, I'm going to make an offer on Lamar. I'm giving you 5 years at $220 million and 150 guaranteed. Does he have to take it? Do they have to match it?
I don't think he has to agree to it.
So he can stay on the tag?
Like, he can accept it, and then that would allow Baltimore a chance to match that offer.
The point is, he won't accept. Well, maybe
Never
he will.
know.
Anybody who makes the offer is going to know if he's going to accept it or not. They're going to be in touch with his agent, which is him, and know if he's going to if he's going to accept it. I think the stall here, JJ, is your initial point. They know he's not going to accept it. If he is holding out, and it certainly sounds like he is, for $1 more guaranteed than Deshaun Watson got, and the tug of war here is very, very real, and it's way more than about this one guy. It's about the whole structure. There's been plenty of collusion claims that the owners aren't going to do it. Nobody wants to give him this guaranteed contract because everybody wants to claim that the Deshaun Watson deal was an anomaly, that the Browns went out completely outside of the structure, and that's not the way things are going to be. And the players saying, well, it already is, man. You went and did it. That is the new precedent. That's what's going on here. This isn't all about whether or not Lamar should be paid near the top of the scale. The Ravens have offered him a really, really nice deal. But it's not what Lamar wants because it's not all guaranteed $250 million. Tell me what I'm missing here.
You're not missing anything. And he's not getting a fully guaranteed deal. He's not. I understand that. But the fact that no one has even thought about throwing an offer sheet his way, has had that break, like, all right, let's see what because there's someone working with him. Like, I know he's representing himself, but he's got someone that you're bounce things off of. That the first thing was so many teams immediately said no. That's what got me thinking that, all right, they're trying to prove a point. Is right when the non-exclusive tag was put on Lamar Jackson, instead of going, yeah, we might be interested, we'll have a conversation with a very good quarterback.
Nope.
It was immediate no. And then you're like, okay. No one even wants to have this conversation with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so are you buying into the collusion stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not, we don't want Lamar Jackson to be a quarterback for us. They're just not willing to budge. But that doesn't mean you don't talk to him. I think that's just bad.
Well, I think there's been talking.
I don't think there's been talking.
You don't
to
think
other
anybody
teams.
talked to him?
Because if they're immediately leaking day of, you had reports from Atlanta, Miami, Vegas. They're like, nope, we're out.
Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
Morning. So let's go with let's say he gets the $251 million guaranteed contract.
He's not, but yeah.
You have to take all of that money and put it into a trust account fully funded at the signing of the contract.
You have to have the available cash and escrow to be able to cover that contract, correct?
Okay, so that's going to eliminate some teams that are cash poor, the Raiders and some other ones.
Okay.
That don't have that cash laying around.
All right.
Or, just in the owner's mindset, there's other stuff they can do with $250 million versus signing a contract. We use Daniel Jones with $82 million guaranteed, or Carr with $100 million guaranteed.
Yep.
So, for him to prove collusion is going to be very hard because right now the Cleveland Browns are hamstrung. They're going to have to redo Deshaun Watson's contract into bonuses to free up the $60 million cap hit for this season for them to do anything else. So Lamar's only concerned about Lamar. He's not concerned about what happens to the rest of the team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's right. And that's why it's going to be hard. And that's why the owners feel that they're going to get away with this. And is there collusion? I don't know if they all sat in a room and said, hey, nobody do this. But I think it's kind of unspoken because nobody wants to do it.
If someone's going to go after him, it's if Rodgers goes to the Jets and goes, you know what? I don't want to play anymore. I'm done. Then do the Jets, who may have to trade a 1 for Rodgers, decide, hey, I'm going to trade a 2 and go after Lamar?
Yep.
And do it that way? But, it's just going to be an interesting dynamic for the illegal tampering window, which is stupid that they're even calling it illegal tampering or legal tampering.
Yeah, I get it. All right. I get it.
But the other thing is, with this trade that Charlotte made, good move for them. Now it puts the Arizona Cardinals in the driver's seat, where they'll probably trade back with Seattle.
I think Seattle.
Seattle can afford to take Anthony Richardson, let him sit for a year or two behind a cheap contract with Geno.
Yeah. Or Houston. I mean, would Houston move up 1 just to make sure they get their guy? So nobody else moves
Well,
in.
I mean, either way, me personally, if you're taking Bryce Young, you're going to get stuck with another Kyler Murray.
And pay him a lot. All right.
Okay, I stood next to Drew Brees side by side in San Diego. If he was 6 foot, I was 6'3".
He's not 6 foot.
He's not. We all know that.
No, and everybody knows that. So, all right, man, I got to move. But
he's going to play 175. But you guys have a good one.
All right,
too bad Bubba's lost the tournament, but let's see what they do next year.
All right, Lenny, thanks. It's interesting because
next year
Wednesday night.
He's just gonna skip over Wednesday.
I saw your face on Seattle moving up. Do you not like that?
Okay, it's Indianapolis is a team that's in crisis mode. I got them confused earlier. My bad.
What's the draft order right now?
So right now it's Carolina, Houston, Arizona, Indianapolis.
Houston stays where they are. Arizona's in the.
So Indianapolis is the oblique team after the Carolina.
What if they like Will Levis?
They can like Will Levis. He can like Anthony Richardson. Top 2 quarterbacks are C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. That's it. That's the top 2 quarterbacks in the class.
Yeah, and so here's where I am with that, and I look at it, and history will proves this right. The top 2 guys are the top 2 guys right now, and won't be in 2 years from now. Okay, and I remember, you were the biggest one on Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson that I know, and both of them slipped, and they weren't the top 2 picks in the draft. I go back, and I'll go all the way back to Drew Bledsoe or Rick Meyer. I will go back to Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf, right? One of them hit.
Yeah.
One of them did.
Couple of these guys.
And then there's always the third, fourth.
I will tell you, only one of these dudes is probably going to be
right. Good. And so I don't, and in a draft like this, I don't know that I think either one of these is Peyton Manning. Hell, I'm not sure I think either one of them is Drew Bledsoe. And again, if it was Andrew Luck, if it was Trevor Lawrence, okay, it's not. And so, and this is where I got to draw the line. I understand. I watch college football, and I know to an extent, but I don't dive into the Ned James stuff or certainly where a scouting department is. Okay, this is where you got to break it down. And they're measuring his hands and his height and his okay. I love me some Anthony Richardson in this. I actually kind of like Will Levis. The top two guys are really good. Are they? And I know when you're quarterback, I'm going to go back to the hungry thing. When you're hungry, man, Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's sounds freaking awesome. I don't know that I think if I could get one of them at 4, where I sit, and this is the difference between me and a scouting department. I don't know that I think there's a huge difference. And one of those guys outside of the top 2 are going to be better than one of those guys in the top 2.
It is going to happen.
Promise.
But for me, it's also just I think C.J. Stroud is a lot closer to Trevor Lawrence than people give him credit for.
Okay.
I don't know why there's so many people not understanding.
And you're usually really good at this.
Because, yeah, he played on a loaded team. So did Trevor Lawrence. People are acting like he was a messiah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Clemson had a T. Higgins,
yeah.
Travis Etienne, like first round, second round draft picks. So I think C.J. Stroud is the class of this quarterback class. I would be okay, as you're saying, if you're Indianapolis and even if you swap places with Arizona, if you come out with Anthony Richardson, that's to your point, like the chance I'm taking on that would be the other guy that I think could really be something out of this draft just because of his physical tools. And if you're going to bet on someone like Anthony Richardson doing what we saw with Josh Allen, which I think is his best comp. You know, Allen had all the tools, not a great completion.
Wasn't polished.
He missed a lot of throws
at
Wyoming. But you come in, you give him some time. Are you taking the size and physical ability over the giant question mark of the lack of size with Bryce Young?
And that's why it's so inexact. But that's where, you know, to your point on Indianapolis, I'm not sure I'm getting desperate to move up one spot. I've watched it too many times, man. Go look at the draft. See where Lamar Jackson went. See where Deshaun Watson went. See where Russell Wilson went. I know what I think of him now, but, man, he got you to 2 Super Bowls, didn't he? Go look. Like, unless you are totally convinced, like you are on Stroud, and I don't think you're getting him now, right? Because the team that went all the way up to the top is going to get him. I just go back and I look through quarterback classes, and we sat here and talk about Josh UCLA, the Levin, right? Or what's his name? What's my guy's name?
Rosen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right? I knew that was wrong.
There's been a lot of busts at first and second.
Matt Leinart, and I mean, all these guys, countless. I mean, go through the draft list. Unless you're sold, man, and this is, to me, I don't see a big long-term difference between Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young right now. And maybe this is where I will yield to the experts, right? That's where I know it to a certain extent. I don't know what they know. But, man, what I do know is every quarterback class that's not, elite at the top, and I don't think this one is, one of those guys that's not first 2 always ends up better than those guys who are first 2. And that's what I think they're looking at. 505-246-0610. Where are you going? Who's your best quarterback of the draft? Where are you going? You're Indianapolis. Do you trade up one spot to make sure you get one? Aaron Jones started International Protective Service back in 2006. IPS security company that I trust to watch my home. I have for years, that hundreds of homeowners and business owners trust to watch their homes. They have for years. Why? Because the bad guys are on the increase. The good guys' numbers are on the decrease. And this is affordable, private security. I was gone last week. I watched every single day, a number of times, IPS come by, making sure that the house is secure, doing exterior checks, picking up. We had a package delivered. They picked it up, made sure that nobody else took care of it. Look, they watch your home because you worked hard to build your home and your business. Taking care of your family, taking care of your home, taking care of your business is optimal. Highly trained and armed guards for 24-hour patrols. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. They're going to give you peace of mind, and they're going to protect you from the bad guys. Committed to our city and your protection. International Protective Services at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
You could win a $1,000 gift card to American Home Furniture. These.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force.
There's his destination for Lamar. What do you think?
We got deep in the rabbit hole this weekend, guys. I think Lamar Jackson's going to go to San Francisco 49ers.
I think it's crazy. But they're going to have to give up a hell of a lot more than just dumping Trey Lance.
That's what teams do now, though. They're very close. They've been in the Super Bowl. Get that quarterback.
No, I can see it. It's just going to cost them a lot. they're going to have to clear just to be able to afford them under the cap, right?
Right. And they have to pay Nick Bosa, but I just looked at ways they can trade away picks. They got quarterbacks they can give away.
Well, they're going to have to trade picks. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I think it makes a little sense. So they would send, what, Trey Lance and picks and
I can only see San Francisco or Atlanta at this point. Miami decided this past couple days that Tua's their guy. So this leaves open a couple. We're getting smaller and smaller windows with some teams.
It's yeah, that's interesting. I mean, what do you think of that?
Well, teams like San Francisco, Miami could get involved after the draft because here's the thing: they don't have first round picks this year, and so that's a hurdle. So you'd have to go find a first round pick this year.
Yeah, you have to get it from someone to get it right.
If you wanted to try to go just offer him as a non-exclusive, just the 2 first-round picks, the contract, and nothing else. So that's a hurdle for a team like San Francisco or Miami.
All right. And then there's this, right? So everybody's looking at the Deshaun Watson deal. That's the one the Browns reset the market with. And Lenny was not wrong. He was a caller who phoned in the last hour where he said, look at what they're hamstrung now. Well, the Browns had to restructure Deshaun Watson's done nothing for them, right? I mean, he played in 6 games this year. Was there a more irrelevant team in the NFL this year than them? No, honestly. What was the most innocuous team? Maybe the Texans? But you never talked about the Browns this year. You will next year. So they restructured his contract already.
I mean, you talked about him because they picked up Deshaun Watson, but not for good reason.
But when the season started, and you didn't talk about him all year before, then you cared about the 1 week he was back, and then it was like, all right, whatever, they're there. Like they were. I mean, you talk about every team, but I mean, they were pretty innocuous. He's played 6 games. They already had to restructure his deal. So they cleared $36 million in cap space. So they signed him last offseason, that 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal, right? So before restructuring the deal, the Browns were essentially $14 million over the salary cap as of now before free agency started. They've got now cap space heading into free agency. That begins today at noon Eastern time, so basically in 40 minutes. So it's crazy. They were 7-10, but that's where they're in. That's what the caller was talking about earlier. What this does to hamstring you when quarterbacks get that much of your money. Now, the cap is going up, and so there'll be more available money, but it's going up. What do you guys think about what the Rams are doing? They're trading Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. They got a 3rd-round pick and a tight end, Hunter Long.
The Rams won a Super Bowl, and now they're going to figure it out.
Start over again?
Start over.
They're shopping Matthew Stafford.
They're shopping Matthew Stafford
What if
and Baker Mayfield.
All right, give me this. What if the Rams get in on Lamar? Why can't they trade Matthew Stafford and what else?
And they don't have a draft pick forever.
Yeah, they don't have a draft pick.
Someone has to sign Lamar first.
Yes,
the Ravens have to agree to a contract with him to trade him.
Yes.
So why can't the Rams get in and offer him a deal?
They absolutely could if they wanted to, but they don't have the money.
Don't have the money.
You're noticing
because they've got to get. That's why they're trying to get rid of Stafford. Yeah.
The remodel.
I'm kidding. I mean, I understand.
And his injury was really serious. So Matthew Stafford.
Stafford's, yeah.
That was a really good move for Miami.
Absolutely.
100% it was.
It's Jalen Ramsey, still a very good cornerback. You look at what they're going to do now in that offense. Vic Fangio invested in Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey. They're going all in on Tua right now in that team next year.
Who's your favorite right now in the AFC East? Is it them?
Buffalo.
Is it Miami or Buffalo? You still at Buffalo, even though, I mean, they're good. They're good. What makes them better than Miami right now? Their defense?
I think their quarterback can play a full season.
Yeah, I guess not knowing who your damn quarterback is. Let me ask you this. Did you guys, because I didn't, get convinced when you watched healthy Tua that Tua's a long-term, really good quarterback in the NFL?
Well, I think last year we were, as fans, were waiting to see what kind of year he's going to have, and then his health, his scary concussions and whatnot, I think that put that off for a little bit.
It's hard to say, right?
The answer to your question, Jeff, is yes.
Because I'm not.
Like, can he, again, anything, like, could Tua be a top 10, 12 guy in the NFL? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's hard for me, and I'll tell you why I can't. And I can't separate the two. I flat out can't. I can't see him getting through a season healthy. And so it's hard. Healthy Tua, like if you want to say to me, all right, don't hit him, just let him stand back and make throws. Yeah, he was better than I thought he would. They gave him some damn weapons. They gave him 2 speedy guys on the outside. They gave him a good tight end. Holy smokes. Look at Tua. Looks like that guy that we thought he was at Alabama after his junior year was going to be the number 1 guy. But I can't separate the Tua that I see broke in every other game that he's out there from the guy that looks really healthy in the pocket. Is that wrong?
No, because now that is a part of trying to answer that question.
So what do you do? Gosh, he looked really good. He proved himself, and there he was. But
I think they did the right
my
thing.
guy on the field.
They picked up the 5th-year option.
Yep.
And give him a contract extension. And so it allows them to have flexibility if things don't go well for Tua.
All right, we're going to come back. We're changing over, and we're going to talk some college basketball. There's big news this morning in the coaching circles. Not that biggest name in the coaching carousel, but the other one. A guy who was fired after allegations of domestic violence about 3 months ago. Fired from a high-profile job. He's got another high-profile job. Who is that and where is he going? That is next on the opening drive. 90% of all the information you get, 90% of the information that goes to the brain comes through your eyes. So what if your eyes don't work well? And at high altitude like we have here in Albuquerque, contacts don't work as well as they do other places. That's why I got LASIK. Dr. Stephen Coleman, it's Coleman Vision. Dr. Coleman specializes in treating astigmatism with LASIK. He's done it since 1998. I had a high degree of astigmatism. Didn't know it, just knew I couldn't see as well as I wanted to. That's why I went to him. I had LASIK surgery in 2003. It changed my life then, and I am still feeling the positive effects of the life-changing event 20 years later. So the technology that Dr. Coleman uses is cutting edge. He played a significant role in developing and testing that technology. He uses it here, but it's used all around the world. It originated at Sandia Labs right here in New Mexico. And so that's why for years patients come from everywhere to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision because they know Dr. Coleman's reputation. Look, he's the best. And you'll realize that the second you walk in there, the way they take care of you, the way that place is, but the results. And by the way, he'll tell you if you're not a candidate. Not everybody is a candidate for LASIK. I know a number of people who Dr. Coleman says, I'd love to do it. Your issue isn't treatable by LASIK. He's not going to just do it just to do another surgery. He doesn't need to. He is the best. When you want to ditch your lenses, when you want to ditch your glasses, when you want to see well, Coleman Vision's the only place. Call him at 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880 or online at colemanvision.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
It was just in January Chris Beard was fired as the head coach of the Texas Longhorns. He was arrested in mid-December. His fiancée, Randy True, called 911, told officers that Chris Beard choked her from behind, bit her, hit her when the two got into an argument. Texas did their investigation. They fired their coach. Texas is now a number 2 seed with Rodney Terry as the interim coach. He's still interim, right? Rodney Terry? Yeah. He's got to get that job, right? Crying out loud. Anyway. All right. The fiance, that was on the incident happened on December 12th. 11 days later, she released a statement. She said she did not tell police that Beard choked her. She said that she initiated the physical struggle. On February 15th, charges were dropped in Travis County. The district attorney there reviewed the evidence, took True's wishes into account, did not prosecute Chris Beard. He was still out of work. This morning, Chris Beard is going to get another job, a high-profile job in the SEC, a high-paying, high-profile job. Chris Beard is going to get the job at Ole Miss. I don't know that I have a problem with this. I don't know that I do have a problem with this. I'm going to tell you I'm not surprised. Good coaches like him, and he's proven to be a good coach, tend to find their way back in. Right? I don't know how their fan base feels. Winning secures everything. JJ, I have no idea what happened. None. Altercation. How do you feel about this?
There was a fight between the two.
Or an altercation or something, yeah.
She is saying that the police are lying then.
She's saying she never said it, yeah. And
the police just showed up and made up all that stuff.
That's kind of what she's claiming, yeah.
Which is, I'm going to lean towards that's not what happened in this.
Right.
I'm going to lean towards
she's trying
something
to protect his
very bad happened.
Yeah.
She's trying to protect him after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she's like, yeah, I don't want to pursue any charges or go anywhere with this. And thus, it was dropped.
Amory, 3 months ago, Chris Beard was charged with domestic violence crimes. Supposedly he choked, hit, bit his fiancée. She recanted that, said that didn't happen. Not even recanted, said I never said it. He got a job today. I don't know what it's going to pay. Mississippi State last year paid Chris Jans $2.3 million base to get the job. I'm going to guess this is going to be $2.5 million a year job. How do you feel about it?
How do I feel
about him getting this job, getting back in so quickly?
I don't know enough about the situation. but it doesn't surprise me.
I think that's kind of where I am. I look, domestic situations are always really tricky. None of us are in the room until you see video, right? All of a sudden you see video and it's like the Ja Morant. Oh my goodness, there's video of him in a strip club. Look at him now. What do you think was going on there, by the way? Ole Miss fans going to be thrilled, right?
Yes.
They got themselves a coach who won at Texas Tech, who put something together really nice at Texas, who won, where was the Arkansas Little Rock before that, I believe? I think I've got to lean to, if there's no charges and the man didn't do anything criminally, or at least proven to, I think the man's got a right to work, doesn't he? I think that's where I've got to lean. Now, if you want to go on the moral stuff and tell me he obviously beat his fiance and she's covering up to protect his career and in turn to protect her hide and her lifestyle, you might be right. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I guess I've got to lean and I've got to talk to him and I've got to feel comfortable and I've got to talk to her about it if I'm hiring. But I guess, JJ, when it's all said and done, if the man, A, is not even accused, he didn't get charged, let alone found guilty of doing something criminal, it's hard for me to say he shouldn't work.
It's just, you realize that it's a bunch of BS all these universities spew. That college athletics has gone well beyond anything about development, this or that, and we get it. Like, to me, I would not be the first person to hire Chris Beard back after this.
Okay.
And
you're Ole Miss.
He's the leader of this team, and he's gonna preach accountability and responsibility.
Will Wade just got a job, right? Will Wade was the guy at LSU. Where did I see him get a job today?
Yeah.
It was McNeese.
I'm not
McNeese
surprised.
State. Yeah.
Just don't be surprised too when these coaches don't do anything when their athletes get in trouble.
It was kind of crazy because you're seeing what's going on in Alabama, right? With their best player, maybe the best player in college basketball. A guy who brought a gun to a murder, brought the murder weapon to his teammate who then shot and killed a young lady. Oh, no, he didn't do it. He was just wrong place, wrong time. Really? No, that's not wrong place, wrong time, dude. SEC. Will Wade, SEC coach. I mean, he was out for all kinds of violations. His name came up. Why do I know Will Wade, you're saying? Well, because Greg Heyer, the New Mexico State coach, when everybody was trying to tell you how bad he was, well, he worked for Will Wade, and he was kind of, yeah, that's the guy. He just got a job at McNeese. Look, good coaches are going to get jobs. Guys who win, guys who are successful, they're going to get jobs. Hey, speaking of video, did you guys see, and it's still pictures, right? The strip club in Denver where Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies flashed his gun in his Instagram video. You saw that they released pictures?
Yes, I saw the pictures.
And people are going, oh my goodness. And now all of a sudden, right? And this is where I tell you all the time, if you see the pictures, you see video, oh, well, what the hell do you think was going on at a strip club? Dude's getting a lap dance in a back room at a strip club. Now, first of all,
people upset about that?
Oh, yeah. People, what the hell did you think? Why did they release that? First of all, who the hell's going to go there now thinking that, what high roller big spender is going to go drop money thinking that the strip club's going to release video? And why would they release that video or pictures? Why? What good did that do either side? Who wins there? The public? Because they got to see
nobody.
Ja sitting there with a fanny in his face? Like, what? What'd you think when you saw it? All right, there's dude getting a lap dance, right?
Yeah, I said, you know what I thought? It's none of my business, to be honest with you.
That's probably right. But it's probably none of our business.
Whatever people do, I don't care, athlete, human, doctor, lawyer, like, none of my business.
Well, how does that somehow influence your decision on what you think about Ja Morant with a gun in a video? Like, it pays no more credence or discredit to what I thought before. Dude's in a strip club without a gun. The question is, why do you have a gun? He's in a strip club. I'm going to imagine he's got a woman on his lap. Right? I don't know. What did you think when you saw it?
That the dude was at a strip club? Like,
well,
what's surprising about that?
Nothing.
The issue was the weapon involved, not what happens at a strip club.
For the life of me, I have no idea why they put that out and what they thought it was going to do. But TMZ got it, and here he is. Okay. Dude was, doing what you would imagine dude does at a strip club. Yeah, I whatever. All right, I got a bunch of stuff I got to get to you. You sent a bunch of emails. We'll get these good takes, not so good takes, but I'll hit those. We're Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com, and on the text line 505-246-0610. Boy, there's a bunch in here that I got to get to. Got to tell you about New Mail, though, because it's mid-March, and you probably have some New Year's resolutions that have gone undone. Take care of them, and more so, take care of you. Call New Mail and deal with natural things like fatigue and weight gain and depression, even erectile dysfunction, gentlemen. Do yourself a favor, give them a call. They've helped thousands of men feel better. They're right here in Albuquerque. They'll help you deal with those things. You'll feel better. You'll perform better. And now for men and women who are dealing with hair loss, New Mail is your solution. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or online at NewMail, NUMALE.com. So here's the deal. It's a comfortable process, and New Mail walks you through the options. They've got professionals. This is what they do. You'll choose what's best for you. They'll explain the platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. Uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicles, stops hair loss, you regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there is no linear scarring. Men and ladies, give New Mail a call at 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or go online. NewMail, NUMALE.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right.
Big dance including Chris Jans' Mississippi State, 4 question marks. Yes, that's correct. I mean, who should be? Who don't you like? Who shouldn't have been in? This is interesting. Jeff, what's your opinion? Is it just me or do left-handed passers have a longer motion? I heard a couple of defensive guys say that. I think left-handed quarterbacks have a longer motion? That'd be quite a generalization. I don't know that I believe that. 505-246-0610. All right. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Marty?
Hey, guys. Has there ever been, and I don't know the answer, has there ever been a season where the Lobos have lost every game within the conference?
Lobo basketball lost every game in conference? I don't believe so.
Well, yeah, I mean, not saying all their losses coming.
Oh.
Has there ever been a season where all their losses have come within the conference?
I'm going to guess not. I don't believe so. But if it happened, it happened once before. But what you're saying is they were undefeated out of conference and lost all their games in conference. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, that's very unique. So I hope, they come back, reload, and really just hone in on trying to defeat the San Diego States of the world. I think that's the stepping stone, right? Because they've dominated the conference, and I think that's where you got to get back to, right? It's fine to think about big picture, but I think you've really got to take care of your conference and just look at the matchup, look at the games you struggled in. What was it that you struggled in? I think I would say size. I think they struggled with size.
Certainly.
Perimeter defense was a casualty sometimes. Also, I really would like to see them really focus more towards really making Dent a focus. I really hope that happens because I would hate for him to leave. But I think he's got a lot of potential. I think Pitino really should really focus on just giving that kid a lot more minutes, making him a starter, just really focusing on, hey, you're the future of this team. I really think he, outside maybe just working on his shot a little bit, I think it's just more confidence and playing time. But he is an excellent passer, a really good defender, attacks the basket well, just has to really work on that perimeter a little bit more. But it's not because it's not there. I just think it's lack of opportunity. But that's where I see the team in general. It's just I just can't think of a time ever, and I didn't know the answer if they had ever just been dominated within the conference.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Nobody would have thought that 2 months ago. Nobody would have thought of that. When they were 14-0,
Yep.
Nobody would have thought it.
All right. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, appreciate you.
Hey, really quick
hit the button
on the
and it was-
Aaron Rodgers thing.
That's right. Yeah.
I would him. I'd stay out of the AFC. You're pretty much 40, dude. I would just stay out of the AFC, and I know he's going to go to the Jets, so I would stay out of the
Packers
AFC.
are his best
He has no
chance.
to get into the
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. I don't disagree with that. I don't. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
I am truly disappointed in the lady that let Chris Bird off the hook. Unfortunately, my daughter got divorced a couple of years ago due to a situation that happened with her and her ex-husband. And unfortunately, Dad's did not shine. If he did it once, he's going to do it again. She needs to hold his feet to the fire, and regardless of the lifestyle you're going to sacrifice, are you going to give your integrity for that?
Assuming that's what's happened. I mean, yeah, we're going on a big assumption. Something happened there. She's claiming she initiated it and he didn't do those things that are said. I'm going to agree with you if, in fact, that's what happened. If she changed her story, if he did hit her, if he did bite her, if he did choke her, yeah, odds are it was the first time, and it'll happen again. And is she protecting a lifestyle? Yeah, probably. But it's a big assumption going on stuff we don't really know, Howard. If that's the case, I'll agree with you 100%. But and maybe one day she'll come out with a story.
Big assumption to go with Chris Beard too in this.
No, yes, yeah, it's dangerous both ways.
And then to finish my thought, now let's look at the flip side of this. If she fabricated this and he's truly innocent, why in the world would he want to continue on with her?
I think that's really fair. Well,
Take care, man.
All right, see you. Look, you're not wrong. It's a risky assumption going both ways, and it always is. JJ, we've talked about a million of these over the years. We don't know. I understand what you said. You said I wouldn't be the first one to hire him back, and I get it. How long? I mean, how long is the cooling off period? How long does he still have stink on him? Obviously, it was a month and a half, 2 months. But I mean, for you, how long would would it just be? I can't go there, and it's okay if that's it.
Yeah, I think it's one too that as we watch college athletics change, the reality of this business is like you can't then sit there and cry me a river and Nate Oates doesn't care what his dudes do when New Mexico State ain't suspending dudes that are out after the fact, because look at what these head coaches are doing in these schools. It's about the Benjamins. It's about winning. It's a business. Understand that, deal with it, but I still wouldn't be hiring Chris Beard right now because there's a lot in there for me just to think that, oh, the police showed up and the police took the wrong statement.
Yeah, they made it up.
All that was in that police report was actually the opposite of what occurred.
Yeah. Fred, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. What's up?
Hey, guys. Hey, I just wanted to put a plug in for the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship. It was one of the best indoor meets I've seen here in Albuquerque. The convention bureau, the city, whoever had anything to do with it was remarkable. All the collegiate records that Garden just missed beating the world record in the pentathlon and by 6 points is all, I think, 6 or 8 points. And all the records in the girl in the long jump, she did 23-1, and I forgot what it was in the triple jump. But those are collegiate records, and the 100 and not the 100, the 60 and the 200. It was just amazing. It was just unbelievable. I mean, you couldn't get any more people in there. There was over 3,000 people. You've been there before, and 3,000 people is a lot of people. It was so good. I think everybody really appreciated everything, and there was no problems. Everything went really well, and just wanted to get a plug in, guys.
All right, Fred, appreciate you. Those are always good times out there, and you have the best in the NCAA here. Just another great event here in the Borque. All right, text line. Maurice says, reply to Dickie P. Iona has a really good tradition. Sheesh. They've never won an NCAA tournament game, Jeff. For a low major, they do have a good tradition. Day-night dump doubleheader. So you were talking about, JJ, maybe the women playing the NIT Wednesday afternoon in the pit, although we don't know who they're playing. I'll bet they know, and everything is already set up, and so I'm going to guess them and their opponent know. So they're getting ready, but it says people have lives. They can't go to a weekday daytime Lady Lobo game on 48 hours notice, Jeff. Even the students are away on spring break. Oh, well, so the students will be there for the night game then? James. I don't know when they're going to do it, but he doesn't like your idea of a day-night doubleheader.
Okay.
He can't go. Right. Carl says the NIT did not help Minnesota. Jeffrey Patino was fired at Minnesota. If you look right after, that was in his first year. He got fired after 6. They went to the NCAA tournament, I'm fairly certain, the next year. So it did kind of help them. And if you look at what teams do after good runs in the NIT, they typically do well. Utah State this year equals Lobos in 2013. Jeff, remember Jamal Fenton's classic post-Harvard comment? Guys were tired. Without a healthy Ryland Jones, Utah's ceiling was limited. Now Ashworth has to be the primary scorer, primary ball handler. He just ran out of gas against the Aztecs. They look like Lobo basketball against Harvard. I don't know. Now they get 4 days rest, right? Utah State? Are you worried about Utah State being any more tired than Missouri?
No.
You like their matchup? You like Boise State's matchup?
I like their matchups because they're playing a mirror image of themselves.
Better
Utah
chance
State,
to win, them or
Missouri.
Boise State?
Boise State.
You like Boise State better over Northwestern?
Because it's the exact style of play. Missouri, Utah State, 2 offensive teams. Boise State, Northwestern, 2 defensive teams. And that's why if you look at the opening lines, it was like a point.
Yeah.
Or point and a half for both those games.
Well, I don't know what the over is on Utah State and Missouri, but those two teams are going to get up and down the floor. It's a 10-7 game. Both of them are 10-7 games, which, 8-9 is a great matchup. Well, 10-7 is pretty good, too. Those are usually really evenly matched teams as well. I was leaning Utah State, but you might have me leaning a little bit more towards Boise State. All right, good stuff today. Sebastian Noel was with us, talking about high school state tournaments. Richard Patino, the Lobos men's coach, was with us, talking about the Utah Valley matchup. All those are up on our podcast. You can find them wherever it is you get podcasts. Go to sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Cullen Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. And we are back with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian looks good. Thanks for all the video additions. Hey, Marie, great work today.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting everything up. Big day for you.
Huge day.
And enjoy that. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.